Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Tuesday, the 24th of January, 2023. Interesting day. A lot of earnings came out late in the day. Microsoft came out, and their cloud business just looks stellar. Absolutely great. They're investing $10 billion into artificial intelligence, so that's going to be interesting too. We're seeing that Elon Musk, he was testifying today. We didn't do too much in Tesla one way or the other. Rivian backed down a little bit. Ford down 6 cents. GM down a quarter, as you can see. Copper market, in fact, all the metals stayed on a good bid today. They didn't do anything on the negative side. We are lower in all the stock indices in early evening trade, I can tell you that. Amazon came out after the bell, and I thought the numbers did better than that. So, I think that's the close, and then they came out from there. So we'll see just what happens. Now, in Wayfair, you have a couple of gaps in this chart. You have a gap from down here to here and a gap here. Charts don't like to leave gaps. So I'm not saying you have to fill it all. It can be left. There's no magic to it. But that's a big one. Do I think it'll be filled? I'd give it a 99% chance that it's going to be filled. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. When I look at the pattern on the chart, I have a lower low and a higher high all the way through. The market just got over for the first time the 200-day average. That's the gray. First challenge, you generally come back and challenge those numbers, and you're over the upper Bollinger Band. Now, what are the odds of staying over the black band for any length of time? Close to zero. They can get above it and away from it 5% of the time, but are they going to stay above it? No, they're going to pull back within it. But that can also be where it runs up in price so much that eventually it falls to the right-hand side and it's run away. I don't know what this one's going to do. I get the impression off this action, it wants to come back, fill that gap, could even be, headed back to the 200-week average at 50, 60. In momentum-wise, you're overbought. This is why I'm getting that confidence. If you were in betting, I'd have a different opinion. In betting, by the way, means that the red and the blue numbers get over 80 like that, but they do it for several days. It will drag the stochastic to be what I called embedded in my course, and from there you get a whole new game, one of the highest probability sets of types of trading that I know of. Doesn't mean it always works. Nothing works all the time. But is it high probability? Yep. If I found it to be in my 50 years of trading, the best thing I've ever seen, oh yeah. So we'll see what goes on with that. I'm even right now doing research. Every day, I'm going back and going through all the markets. I'm into 2023 now. How many markets had an embedded reading, lose it, and do they hit the profit objectives that occur when you lose that reading? How much risk, so on and so forth. It's going to take me a while. I'll have it done in the end of the first quarter of this year, by the end of March, and I might have a new service out of it. When I look at it, I already know mentally what it does. I want to be able to prove it on paper. Now I'm looking at LIT, the lithium. You're in a rich area. You're up to the 100-day average, the Bollinger Band, but you are embedded. Now this is the place where you are, which means to me that on pullbacks in this market, I believe the trade will be a buyer aggressively. They'll get out if the red line closes under 79. Without that, they'll keep looking on pullbacks to come back into the 100-day average screen and the Bollinger Band until it doesn't work. Apple's up to key resistance, and it too is trying to embed. So if we take a look, both numbers were over 80 today, right? Day before. So not over 80 there. Over 80 on Monday, over 80 on Tuesday. Tomorrow's the key. You need 3 days in a row to embed, and then the rules kick in as I teach in the course. So you're not there yet on this particular chart. Now AMC, you can see how you're fighting the battle right here. It's a rough one. As I said, I like the fact I want them to stay in business. But do I think they're capable of picking up and running this stock? No. It would take the meme group, again, those memes, to drive it. But why would they? I don't see the story right here. You're not embedded. You're in an uptrend unless you start breaking through this low of today, and then you got a problem. Today's low is a problem number. XLF overbought. Got to the Bollinger Band, stalled out, fell back to the 18-day average, gave you a bounce. You got a lot of nothing right here. In XLI, you get bearish this market if you take out today's lows. If that occurs and you close lower, that would give you, with the lower highs, a move back under the 18-day average. It'd be called a failure. By taking that out, you'd have stops over wherever this current high is. Can a buy signal be generated off this pattern? No. So it's only a potential sale. The word is potential. It's not there. In the semiconductors, there's a lot of people that now like the semiconductors. Certain of them are getting a little bit of downgrades. Others are getting back to bids in them. And you see that in the chart action. Did we embed? Both numbers are over 80, right? Both were over 80 yesterday, and the day before, both were over 80. You're embedded. What does that mean? It means if the market doesn't take out today's high and just give you a good-sized drop, I think the pros will be in there buying the market. They'll come out if the red line closes under 79. It's at 89. That's not going to be an easy task. And to get that to occur, 1, 2, 3. So I think you have willing buyers on a break. Ideally, you just drop back a little bit. In the home builders, you got a higher high and lower low, and you're overbought. I don't see anything just here. Energy sector, all of a sudden there's some pressure on energy. Lower highs, lower lows. Are we trying to embed? Both numbers over 80, both over 80 yesterday. Now, here's the key. Were they over 80 on Friday? They were. So what happens now here is until the red line closes under 79, this pullback is probably going to be bought towards that 88.07 tomorrow. And if it's under 79, the pros blow out. If not, they'll look to see if they can get a bounce back to the 92 area, wherever that Bollinger Band is. Gold, this is an embedded reading. Each break like this is the buying opportunity, still looking for the upper Bollinger Band. I can't believe for the webinar that we're having on Thursday, how many silver questions I got. I answered them all. I've created the charts already. We've got a lot to go through. People have been writing me all kinds of things, so it's going to be a lot of fun. That I can tell you. You'll notice I'm not giving you an opportunity to join today. I'll do it tomorrow one last time. We're basically full. There's a few seats, and that's about it. Higher highs, lower lows. The market fighting the battle at the 18-day average. Are we embedded? No. Do we have an uptrend? No. To negate the downtrend, you've got to take out the high right over here. And that's 22.07. Barring that, the resistance is 21.83 in the market. In copper, you still have the embedded reading at work. Now, I started telling my clients to take some money off the table today, not to get out of their whole position. And it's purely because we don't have China in the market. And I looked at the outside day up and I said, I like that action, but I want to also take some money off and keep the other positions on if it runs 43.37, but I don't see China in there to make it run right now is my problem. And I just said, hey, you came into it so right. What's wrong with that? In TLT, nah, I don't think I'll bother with trading this BND at all in front of next week's FOMC meeting. I'm in a blackout period. I don't want to get caught in that and have to work myself out of a problem. Now, in the dollar index, it's bearish. Lower highs, lower lows embedded. Until the red line closes over 21, the potential is still here to get down to 27.22, the lower Bollinger Band. It's the flip-flop in the euro. In embedded reading, still looking for the upside, 101.11, until the red line closes under 79. I think the pros are aggressive buyers. So it's an interesting market, make no bone about that. Now the question is, what do we do with it all? And some of the patterns that you see here, you're seeing on a regular basis. A popular pattern that you see all the time is an outside day. Do you know how to work with it? An outside day is when you take out a prior day's high and low. If you close higher on the day, it's an outside day up, lower an outside day down. I give you the understanding, I explain how it works, and I explain where the market might go to the upside or downside when it happens, and what happens when it's violated. I give you a certain time frame where it can be violated. If you have an outside day up, what happens if you take out that day's low? What does it mean to the market? And I review it in stocks, futures, and ETFs. I make certain you can keep up. So you'll hear me all the time talk about my morning subscriber videos. You're going to get access to both if you qualify. Qualifying means you weren't a recent subscriber and you no longer, I'm not giving it to you. You're a current subscriber. Give you an example to my futures, the full thing. I want to give you the ETF. You're an ETF subscriber. I'm going to give you the complete futures subscription. So you get to see how it all works. And I'm going to give you the charting software and the mobile platform so you can watch everything on that. Believe me, what you get for all this is worth more than you pay for the course, and it's not a lot of money. Will this stuff stick with you? That's the idea. I think it will. And when you see them, you're going to realize, you almost sit up in your chair and you go, this is interesting. Look what this is. What did Ira say? Boom, boom. You can go to our website under the word education. It's there. If you're watching on your PC, you can move your cursor up here at any point for the Outside Day course. You'll see the icon, or you can call my staff. They'll work with you. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you tomorrow morning at our morning futures videos, the financial ones to start the day off. You take care.